Well, a very good evening, everybody. This is Gulf Harbour Radio. Patricia and David, half a minute late. Too busy looking at weather charts here. Actually, David was watching the boxing on television. But anyway, it's a very nice evening here in New Zealand. 17 degrees it is at the moment, quite calm. At the most, 5 knots of northerly. 1013.4, fairly steady on the bar. Quite humid, 77% relative humidity, and thin 80% cloud cover. Not much around. It should be a decent day tomorrow. Well, it's Friday. Well, it is here on this side of the dateline anyway. If anyone's listening over the other side of the line, you'll have another day to go before the weekend. The Olympics are going quite well for New Zealand today. Women's 8 rowers won silver. The men's won gold in the 8s, and women got gold in the pairs. So that was a pretty good haul today. The women's rugby sevens got a bit delayed due to lightning, but they did a thumping great win against the ROC. Now, I bet you don't know who the ROC is. I thought at the start it was something to do with China. It looks like the Republic of China, doesn't it? But in fact, it is the Russian Olympic Committee, because the Russians are not allowed to enter a team in the Olympics because of the drug business. So they have competitors, but they are in a select group called the Russian Olympic Committee. The Fiji women's sevens will have a really good game tonight at 9 p.m. again. It is against Australia. I'm not sure whether it's a quarter. I think it's a quarter-final, but that will be a really, really good game. That's about it from the Olympic news. Samoa have got a new leader, as you probably know. The old one doesn't seem to want to go. Seems to be a current trend in the world these days. But anyway, Samoa's new leader, a lady who I cannot even attempt her name, but she has confirmed a scrapping of the China-funded port that was going to go up in Samoa. So that's a pretty good move. There was a lot of shenanigans, payments and so on related to the last Prime Minister. So I think they've got on top of that, which is real good to see. Okay, what about a bit of COVID news? Well, Fiji has allocated 2 million Fijian dollars in the 21-22 budget for a COVID passport. A German company has been commissioned to work on it. It is not for people travelling from Fiji, really. It is for staff at tourist hotels and venues and various people involved in the tourism industry, so that they can show people that might want to come to Fiji that the people that work there are vaccinated, and that will give them a bit of confidence. Sydney cases have eased. They're down to 170 new ones for the 24 hours. So that's a good move in the right direction. Japan is getting somewhat concerned because there's been quite a spike in COVID in the 3 prefectures near Tokyo and also in Osaka. So they're a bit concerned. And the Philippines have announced that Manila will lock down. And we're talking 13 million people. That's August 6 to 20, so there's still quite a lot of action in other places. Anyway, the Fijian COVID positives are still over 1,000 per day, so still important to take an awful lot of care and follow all the rules and set a good example. Okay, well, I'm not going to talk too much today. There are people moving around. I see Castile and Calypso are on the go, going further north in the Usawas. A couple of boats heading to the southern Lao, Te Tukakia and Cape Maria, to join Imagination down there in the southern Lao. But I note that Vingalot and quite a few others are still up in Vanua-Valavu. But anyway, it's time for a big wrap-up because we will not be operating in the weekend. There's just not enough activity to justify being on the air Saturday and Sunday. So we will be finishing tonight and back here on Monday. So listen up if you want to know what's going on in the weather. Here's David.
Alrighty, good afternoon from the Gulf Harbour Radio weather desk again. So this is our review for the weekend for Fiji. I'm going to keep it just for Fiji. And obviously we're going to be back on Monday to see how decent this forecast was.
We'll score you.
Yeah, stoned me. The driver for the weather this weekend for Fiji is a depression that is centered just northwest of Cape Reinga. Now, from that, a frontal band runs from the depression center to just to the west of Viti Levu by very early morning Saturday. Now, the band drifts northeast basically to cover the entire group by Saturday afternoon. By Saturday evening, the axis looks to be over Vanua Levu and the Lao group. By early Sunday morning, the band looks to drift just east of Vanua Levu and the Laos. So as Sunday rolls on, the trough rolls east. Now, the analysis that I've just given is mine. Fiji Met, so far this afternoon, does not even recognize that there will be a trough. But anyhow, they forecast northeast winds 15 to 20 by tonight, and their outlook calls for southwest winds 20 to 25, with rough seas, moderate southwest swells, becoming heavy swells by late Sunday. So, Fiji Met and Gulf Harbour Radio weather desk disagree. Anyhow, this is the wind estimate that I'm going to give you, and it basically is my data. And when I talk about estimate, I'm going to stress the word estimate. So Saturday morning, tomorrow morning, our time, around between 7 o'clock and 11 o'clock before lunch, up in the Bay of Islands up there, I believe northwest, about 20 knots, and rain. That's from the non-existent trough. So rain. Falanga, northwest 20 to 25, a little bit stronger winds down south. By late afternoon Saturday, up there in the bay, northwest to west-northwest, about 20, continuing with rain. Down there in Falanga, a little bit more wind, 20 to 25. I would say it'll be between west-northwest and west-southwest. It's going to swing right in that short arc right down there in Falanga. So again, more wind and probably more rain as well, in my view. Sunday morning, up there in the bay, southwest. That's a big change now. Southwest, 15 to 20. Now this would be the other side of the axis of the trough. And there will be showers, I believe. Falanga looks mostly westerlies, 20 to 25 knots. So again, more wind down in Falanga. Sunday afternoon up in the bay, we're looking at maybe west-southwest, about 15 to 20, lightens up a little bit. At least the wind change is very moderate there. Falanga, though, west-southwest, 20 to 25. So again, a little bit of a change in the wind direction there in Falanga. So anyway, give all the winds that I just gave you plus or minus 5 knots, if you would, and higher gusts. There'll be higher gusts as well, depending upon how much rain does occur and what type of cloud is dropping it. Now, as I said, Fiji Met does not at all call for a trough, but I do. So we'll see. Have to wait and see, I suppose, and we'll find out on Monday from you folks what actually happened. So it would appear that Falanga has worse weather than the Bay of Islands. Again, we're just going to have to wait and see how this finally shakes out. So the folks up in the Bay, if we were there, we don't give advice here, we never have, but we would stay up there in the Bay. If you're already in Falanga, well, you'll get what you're going to get. So that's it from me. Hopefully you've copied all of that if you're interested in it. And I personally will be anxious to hear the reports on Monday. So with that, here's the chief.
He hasn't covered the western side because we don't actually know that there's anybody listening on the western side. So we do know that there are boats on the eastern side. So that's why the concentration. But if you are in any particular area and you haven't got internet, then do let us know, and we'll cover that as well. So hopefully imagination down there in the southern Lao, it's in a good sheltered spot. That's a good thing. You're not out in the where these reports are actually geared for, where there's nothing in the road. So make sure you've got a good sheltered spot. All right, this is Gulf Harbour Radio. This is Patricia and David. Last call for anybody who wants to make contact before Monday. Please call now. Nothing heard from anybody, so we'll assume that there is nothing needed, and we'll wish you all a very, very good weekend. Looks as if it's going to be quite decent here in New Zealand too. So we'll wish you a good weekend, and we'll be back again on Monday. Cheers, everybody.